Right, hi everybody, and welcome back to the live stream. I'm going to see if my audio is working with my new mic here, so you might hear a little bit of feedback coming up. Give me just a second. Hey, that sounds great to me. Hopefully it's good for you guys too. Yep, I'm rocking the Blue Yeti mic. Very exciting. So that's kind of awesome and very, very exciting. Okay, so let's get rolling with it here and let's make sure everything's working all right. I'm connected via an Ethernet port, which is I think gonna help with all the crazy drops we've had the past couple of weeks. So if you guys start experiencing problems or interruptions or whatever else, give me a holler, let me know, and that'll be that. I'm going to test the chats real quick. I don't know if we're going to get anybody in on this stream for a while, just because it's a different day, a different time. So there we go. Twitch is a go, and let's do Mixer. Testing the chat. Hopefully that should come through. Okay, I see it on my side, but not on your side. So what I'm going to have to do is to reconfigure the chat window thingamabobber. Give me 2 seconds for that here. Copy. And paste. All right, let's see if that works. Let me test it one more time. See if it comes through. I got it on my side. Looks like it has appeared and then disappeared. Good. Good. I'm very excited about the disappearing chat. That's awesome. I don't want it to hide the messages. That's weird. It seems kind of odd that this is what's happening now. Okay, there we go. Testing again. It's up there. We're good. We're ready to rock and roll for it. All right, guys, so let's get rocking and rolling today. We can do whatever. Like I said, I don't know if anybody's going to be showing up to this for quite some time, and that's okay. You know, that's all right. I'm here, as my wife says, I'm very good at just entertaining myself. So I shall do so. We're going to start out by talking about an upcoming show I have, which is going to be Pulpfest, and that is starting next Thursday. There's early bird shopping from 5:30 until 8:30, so I think I'm going to have to reschedule the stream again next week, unfortunately, but duty calls, folks, you know. And that's all about pulp magazines, old stuff from like the 20s and 30s, even into like radio dramas and all kind of cool stuff like that. I really dig the pulp style, so let's do some pulpy art, shall we? Let's go. I'm going to get out my handy dandy pad of paper and get a slice of Bristol board ready to rock and roll. And then if, this is a big if, folks, if I can find my template, that would be super handy. And I think it's over here. Got it. Boom. So I'm going to line up some marker drawings here. Get the bottoms lined up. And for any of you who are new to the stream or who have no idea what the heck is going on, this little template is set up so I can quickly draw in a 4.5 by a 6.5 square, like so. And that's handy because you get a little mat, an 8x10 mat. It'll fit right in there. No muss, no fuss. There we go. Good deal. So once that's all handled, let's split them into two, baby. And just use the X-Acto knife and a metal ruler. Cork backed. You gotta get that. And you're good to go. And we are good to go. All right, let me take this sucker down so it's not all moving all over for you guys. And I will zoom in a bit more to get that. To get just a wee bit closer for you. There we go. And there we go. Nice. All right, let's get that zoom going. I don't want to take it too far in because then it gets a little blurry and that's weird. I'm a little bit crooked here, so let me adjust that. When I see the lines of my board not perfect on the screen, man, the OCD starts flaring up hardcore, and I just have to like get in there and change it all around. So, okay, when I think pulp art, unless anybody out there has any other ideas, when I think pulp art, first thing that comes to my mind is the shadow. Who knows what evil lurks in the hearts of men? The shadow knows, and so do I. So let's get drawing the shadow. The shadow is Lamont Cranston. He's a billionaire, or I guess it's the 30s, so millionaire playboy. That was a lot back then. You know, quick aside, $1 million doesn't seem like all that much anymore. Isn't that weird? Like, if you really think about it, if you got $1 million, how long would that last you? You know, probably not as long as you'd think. Pardon me. Anyway, Shadow premiered in 1930, I believe. And I believe it was a radio program. He later went on to be in a whole bunch of different like magazines. I think there were comic books. I know there are now. The movie from the 90s, which is pretty great. So a lot of cool stuff, a lot of cool stories. So what shall our shadow be doing? Lurking is usually pretty good. Real gothic. Maybe hanging out on a gargoyle, something like that. I don't know. But yeah, cool stuff, man. That movie in the 90s is what kind of really got me into that whole, I don't know, aesthetic, liking the genre of the pulp. So say what you will about it, but The Shadow, the movie, Alec Baldwin, kind of got me into the whole, I don't even know what you'd call that. Pulpy? You know, I mean, like, what is the genre of, like, it's the 30s, and there's, like, two-fisted crime fighters, and, you know, supernatural threats and stuff like that. What would you call that? I don't even know. I know the pulps now, but there's got to be a better name for it. The Shadow has the power of reading and clouding men's minds. And so, interestingly enough, when he stops being Lamont Cranston and turns into the Shadow to fight crime, he supernaturally or psychically changes his appearance. His actual form doesn't change, but when people see him, they see a different form, if that makes any sense at all. And that's pretty cool, I think. He's got like a big nose, and then he wears a red scarf around his neck to hide his mouth. But yeah, so even if you were, like, how with Batman, it's like, oh, if you recognize Bruce Wayne's chin, you know who Batman is. With the Shadow, no, his features are altered. So you'd be like, Lamont Cranston doesn't have a huge flippin' nose. But the Shadow does. There's no way he's the same guy. Anyway, I digress. A little bit of a rant there, folks. But that's okay. Okay. So he's got the red scarf around his neck. Let's get that body kind of thrown in. That body. I have not had enough sleep this week, guys. I apologize. So, I don't know what he's going to be doing. Skulking. Skulking's pretty good. And he's got the 245, so let's do that. Kind of like another great pulp hero, the Phantom. The purple-clad Phantom. That purple that blends in perfectly in the jungle. But you know what? It's cool as heck. You gotta give it. You gotta give it up for the Phantom. So just loosely thrown in, and I hope my pencil is picking up here good enough on the page for you guys. As he's almost like he was sneaking down the, hopping down the bunny trail, sneaking along, and somebody spotted him, and he like a quick turn, and is about to blow someone's face off. Because, that's another thing I kind of like about the pulps back in the day. They're kind of the proto-superheroes. But these dudes, if you got to get killed, you got to get killed, man. They're not gonna Batman you and, like, dump your butt in Arkham after you slaughtered 87 people. Like, that's just not something they're going to do. They're gonna kill you. And I dig that. Like a garden. And let's give him another 45 here. He's only really had the time to turn with the one. Like, you think you're getting the drop on the Shadow, Oh no, you're not. And this is just very, very basic posing right now. As you can see, the guns have no details. The body has no details. It's just a gist to get, you know, this in. I'm going to say his hat kind of dips down in the middle. Kind of like that. Yep, I like that. That's cool. Yeah, it looks like it's a little washed out with the lights here, guys, so pardon me for that. But that is good. And I'm just looking at some reference here of the shadow. I don't know if I made his hat too big, but I kind of like it that size. I'm going to go with that. And yeah, that's the other thing. His collar isn't like spread out. It's very like close to his face. It's kind of buried in there. There we go. I like that. That looks pretty good. And I wonder where our shadow should be. Like, what's a cool gothic type place for him to be? Either like an ornate building, or I was thinking like a cemetery, like a spooky old gothic cemetery. He's skulking around in there. There's some evildoer that needs stopped big time hanging out. And it's up to the shadow to deal with it. And also, I think he wears a cape. Yeah. Looking at some images of Shadow magazine covers, he definitely wears a cape with a red interior, which I dig. That's classy, man. I wish I had that. And underneath of which is his suit. So, that's cool. I like this. Like looking at the reference photos, really cool art. Let's have this cape here. Tell you what then, let's get rid of these. The cape's got a collar, it's like a Dracula cape. Down here. As he's flipping this out, his cape's kind of like flying wide kind of a deal. Same with up here. And then he's got his sweet, sweet double-breasted suit on underneath, because say what you will about the 30s, but man, these guys knew how to dress. That's classy right there. I like that. So I think another thing we need to do is make more tension here. Just in everything. I want it to look a lot more tense. The legs just weren't doing it for me in the tenseness department. Go. Maybe that should come down just a little bit more. Just a wee bit more. That's good. And then the other thing we need to look at is this is a weird thing, but the buttons on a suit. They are on different sides for men and women. And for men, I just wanted to make sure, be absolutely certain, yep. The button part is on the right-hand side of the suit. The whole part where the button goes through, of course, is on the left. Weird thing, I know, but if it wasn't right, it would look really weird. And you might not know why, but that would be the reason. Because you subconsciously, you know every suit you've seen has had buttons in that pattern, or in that way. And so you might not even realize it consciously, but I think it would throw you for a little loop. Come here, dust brush. Where'd you go, baby? There we go. See, this part of the suit's hanging down a bit. What if the shadow wears a tie? I don't know. And there's the tension is coming off of this button area. So there's the other button of the suit. And then let's have it actually right here where the gun barrel is. Let's have him firing this bad boy off. I think that would be cool. A big bright splash of color right there. And just want to grab a quick image here of a hand holding a pistol or any kind of handgun. A lot of images of this from the side. Okay, there we go. That's good. Good enough for me. I need to one day get some time together and shoot a whole bunch of my own photo reference for things like a hand holding a gun, looking down the barrel of the gun specifically. You know, stuff like that. Now let's see if the shadow wears a tie. I think he does. Wears a black suit. I don't see any mention of a tie. Interesting. C'est intéressant. I'm going to say our version of the shadow here does wear a tie. We're going to have the cape go this way. There we go. That looks good. So if his chin's there, neck comes down, tie would be here, come down this way. There we go. Good. Next up, I can erase some of these lines. I think that's cool. His body is a little hunched for my tastes. So let's do this. That's a wee bit better. I don't know why, but it is. And let's get this spooky old cemetery behind him. With old gravestones of like New York. And we'll just keep it pretty subtle here. And let's do like a pillar here in the back, one of those monuments. the crucifix on top, let you know it's a cemetery. That works. And then back behind him, I think we got to do it, cliched as it is, but a big old spooky moon. There we go. That'll be pretty good. I like that. Okay. And let me change this here real quick. There we go. Nope, that didn't save. That's okay, whatever. No big deal. Maybe we'll have a, not a weeping angel, but like an angel statue back here. We can do that. Or a sweet, sweet Grim Reaper statue would be cool. So that means I want to lower this a pinch, because it's going to be too high then. Keep it gothic, folks. Keep it gothic. Or an angel would be cool. I don't know. The angel would probably be a good profile then. And there's more angel statues than, you know, Grim Reaper statues, I think. So you know what? Let's double dip here. Let's make it the dang weeping angels. Double dip on our pop culture, because, you know, why not? There we go. And then maybe some other statue ones coming up behind his shoulder, I think would look good. Just a bog standard plinth. Some clouds. That'll work. I like that. Okay, perfect. Oh, let me get... There we go. Better picture of some 45s. And we'll get this thrown in. Don't want that hand to be too big, which it was. There we go. These are like those Colt, like 1911s, which I've always wanted to fire one of those. I think that would be awesome. Cartridge return. There we go. Okay, so I think now we are good to start putting in our color. So let me move all this stuff that I just have floating around, and we can get right into it. No dust brush, you're staying. Okay, cool. So let's get out the briefcase and get into the markers. So first place that I think I'm going to start is getting some darks in. I'm going to use cool grays. This is a time when I really wish I had the neutral or toner gray set, because I think that would go well here for this drawing. And just get in some, not to put too fine a pun on it, shadow areas. Like so. I think that'll be cool. There we go. I like that. And then we can just refine a little more as we go. And I'm going to go ahead and just start throwing in the dark areas here. Because the thing about drawing with black like this is things aren't actually black. Like if you're wearing a black shirt, it's not like you can't see the wrinkles in it and the outlines and stuff. That would have to be a very special kind of material. So you can still see color kind of like charcoals and blues and various hues and shades. So you kind of have to be careful when doing this. Now, under his hat, it's going to be all dark. And this is only a cool gray number 9. So it's not as dark as I can go. And then, of course, the darkest dark that I have is the ink. There we go. Cool. And now I can start adding, and actually now I can erase some of this pencil line. And start putting in, oh, I see another spot I want to get. Start putting in a little bit of lighter areas. I'm going to go down to a 7, which is not going to be nearly enough. And start drawing in our light areas, some of them. Suddenly looks like it's going to rain out there. Spooky, I like it. The area under the pocket will have a nice shadow. These shadows will have shadows. And just kind of keeping the area around that barrel of the gun open. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with it yet, but something cool. Here underneath of the jacket. Keep that together. Never been too good at drawing suits. Something I'd like to learn more about, actually. And as with any art, and I've spoken about this before, I think, but there's always that time when it's like, well, you could spend 4 hours getting the suit done just right, just perfectly. All the wrinkles, the way the fabric hangs, get it done perfectly. But then you're out of time. I mean, that's way too long to work on something like this. You know, something that's just meant to be quick. And generally the selling price of these markers when I'm at a show is pretty cheap. And if I put 4 hours in and only get, $15 out, that's not the best deal in the world, So there's a time and a place for everything is all I'm saying. And now is not the time to get hung up on the extreme details of drawing a suit just right. Just so I can make it look good enough, I will be happy. I'm going to leave some white areas there where, what's the word I'm looking for? There's going to be light from the moon kind of spilling in, hitting him here. Remember, this is all cape in here. Here on the edge, hat area. So inside the suit, I'm actually going to grab a bluish. This is dull grayish lavender. I'm going to throw in the highlight areas inside the suit itself. And that'll give it a little bit of color. And we're going to go over this with some gray again. But for now, it's adding that nice splash of color in there, which I think is handy. We're going to add it just here on the edges, too, of this. There we go. I like that. That's good. That's good. All right, and then I'm going to go back over with the gray. I'm going to do even a step down. This is the 5. And hit a lot of these areas we've already hit. And you can still see, or at least I can. I don't know if the camera's picking it up that well, but there's just a tiny bit of that that lavender color, the grayish lavender that is in there. So it doesn't look like the suit's just drawn with just various shades of gray, of which we all know there are 50 and no more. Okay, good deal. So let's get some of these lines erased here. And we can start adding in some of the cool, well, not cool in terms of color, but the awesome looking red colors of the shadow. I'm going to start off with the lipstick red. This is like your bright crayon red here. And honestly, I'm just going to kind of block fill these areas in and then shade them here in a bit. Because this will be our brightest red. We can add highlights here with the white in a minute. But we'll then use a different color to kind of shade it down a bit more. Yeah, Lamont Cranston, man. Snappy flippin' dresser. I think that's my new look. Double-breasted suit. Cape with that red lining, that brilliant bright red lining. And then twin 45s. I think that is a good look. I think for everyday use, you know. Going to the airport. Don't do that, everybody. Don't do that. Going to the mall, the bank, you know. Banks love it when you walk in with exposed weaponry and a mask around your face. Ugh. Okay. That's cool. Looks like red 29 is a color I'm going to have to order refills for very, very soon. I love this color, so that's definitely need to get that. I'm going to go over it a second time here real quick just to take any of the streaks out. Not even like a real great, you know, a real great job. Just some quick boom, 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 get it done kind of stuff. Good deal. And then let's do the face and the hands, the flesh colored bits. So for that, I'm definitely needing to erase a lot of this lead. I can still generally see where the lines are, even if you guys can't. So bear that in mind. So I'm going to start by putting in... We're going to do red 20, which is blush. We're going to do it right along the cheeks, under the eyes, and right here on the nose too. Anywhere where blood tends to pool under the skin. Okay, so that's good. And then I'm going to go in with... I need a new tip for this milky white where I could run it under some alcohol to get it out. But I'm not going to use the milky white. I have raw silk, which is a little too dark. I'm going to use that as a toner, and I'm going to go with the E00, which is a pale pink. And this is one you got to be careful with because it tends to pick up everything. A little bit of that gray in there and it'll smear all over your drawing that you've been working hard at. We don't want that. And I don't know if you guys can tell, it's pretty subtle, but it blends that blush color we did in very nicely. Good. Okay. I like that. Then we're going to go in with the raw silk here. And we can start putting in some shadows. So under the eyes and out into the side of the face and under the cheek here. And then all along up above here where the hat shades. And even down the nose some. There we go. And then we're going to run over it with the skin white again. And just give that a little bit of a blend. There we go. And then we're going to do virtually the same thing here on the hands. Start with our base. It's pretty easy. Pardon me, hit some blush here on the edge of the knuckles. Some veins there. Hit it with the darker areas. It's back here behind the underside of each finger. And then go over it again with the base color. Just a quick zippity-doo-dah there. Okay, good deal. I like that. I like how it's coming along. Now our next decision is we have to decide what color our moon is going to be casting. If we want an eerie effect, we could do like a greenish color or even kind of a bluish. But we have options, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. We do have options. And that'll determine what color goes on each of our like gravestone areas and stuff like that too. So let's give it a whirl. Let's do Do the spooky ice mint. I don't know if that's... When you say ice mint, it takes the spookiness out. We could do a purple. We could do a greenish that would bounce off that red. Like a yellow-green here. Might give an eerie sort of mood. Yeah, let's try it. What the hell, right? There we go, in like that. A bit there. Outside of the arm. And cool. Good. A bit here on this other side of the hat. There we go, that's cool. And then to that end, let's make our moon up here nice and green. And let me get some of this pencil up from our weeping angel statue. Get that spooktacular green in. I'm going to set this one aside because we're going to definitely need to do all these gravestones with a bit of it. Actually, we can start with that now. And just subtle little bits. We don't need a lot. To sell this effect. Just on some of the edges. Like so. So the top edges and sides. Like that. There we go. And then as far as our Weeping Angel is concerned, she's going to be pretty much in shadow. But we can offer just a wee bit around her wing edges. Her arms here, top of the head, and then the sides. Like so. Good. That should give a spooky enough vibe, I think, I hope. Let's shade that cape now that we know what our big highlight color is. I'm going to use, this is R39, which is garnet. And I'm definitely going to get in the areas that are going to be the most dark, which are up in the corners here. It'll get a little lighter as it flares out. We could start to add in some wrinkle lines and the like. There we go. Down here under the legs would definitely be pretty dark. Over here, pretty darn dark. Good deal. Hello, AMC Vlogs. How you doing today? Good to see you. All right, so I'm not feeling the leg as much. The back leg needs to be a little darker, so let's get that nice and just a wee bit darker. Same with the underside of this front leg. Just a bit darker here. And there we go. So how are you doing today? Okay. There we go. Let's make this just a wee bit darker in a lot of these areas. Under the jacket pocket. And then I'm going to get out the 5. And hit that again. Good deal. There we go. Just keep this suit, the whole area nice and dark. That's what we want. Even his buttons on the shadow are black buttons. And same with his normally white undershirt is like a grayish color on the shadow. He's all dark, man. Better to stalk through the night. Seeing what evil lurks in the hearts of men. Okay. So that is cool. Good to hear. Oh, cool, AMC. That's awesome. What kind of stuff do you like to do? So for the gravestones, I'm going to start with a cool gray number 4. We can always make it darker if we need to. It's harder to make it lighter. Just start hitting these areas here. Oh, this is going to need refilled, man. Whew. Monsters, man. Right on. I hear you on that, my friend. Right, yeah, this needs refilled. Who's your favorite monster? Do you have a specific monster that is a favorite of yours, or is it just everything? Do you like making up your own monsters, or drawing like, you know, the Wolfman or Dracula, or like what kind of stuff? Aliens, or a little bit of everything? All right. I am filling this up here. It might be off screen. There, that might help. Ten drops in there. Let's wipe this off. A little bit of everything. Right on. I've got a convention coming up that is pulp magazines and the like. So I thought the shadow would be a good marker to do for that. There we go. I'm going to call that good. I don't want to overfill this thing. But yeah, tomorrow I need to get doing some Flash Gordon, some, you know, the Phantom, Doc Savage, just like cool stuff like that. Okay, so hopefully this is not too juicy. Because if you overfill the Copics, it gets to be a problem. So what kind of mediums do you use? Oh, thank you very much. Do you draw with like colored pencils or markers like I'm doing? Paint, pencil, regular pencil, you know? Okay, there we go. Oh, and thank you very much on the good drawing comment. Much obliged. I do what I can. Yeah, this thing's a little bit overfilled right now. All right, let's get our angel. There we go. And we're going to need to darken that up a bit. You don't use color, so you're using like just like regular old pencil then, or do you do digital stuff? You know, I can't recommend the markers enough here, because I used to do pen and ink and pencil only, nothing color. And I got the markers, at least one actually, the cool gray that I'm working on now was the first one I bought. That so I could start practicing color on the go. So I can't recommend it enough to you. Okay, angels put in. Let me get some a lighter shade, maybe 2. Pencil, right on. My opinion, my humble opinion, pencil is the foundation of like all drawing. You know, you got to start there. Okay, that's good. We could start adding in just a couple of details here, like the far sides that are not hit by the light. There we go. Cool, cool, cool. So me, I started drawing when I was a wee lad. I mean, I can't even think at this point how long it's been that I've been drawing, but more professionally, I would say it's been 6 or 7 years, something like that, that I really started trying to focus and learn and build a portfolio and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, I would say for that it's been 6 or 7 years really. So I people always said I was good at drawing, and I agreed, but I finally decided I wanted to do something more with it. So I learned everything I could, tried to practice all the time, and went from there. How about yourself? There we go. Okay. All right, so we got our graveyard scene put in, pretty easy. The next step is going to be the clouds and the background. So we have a decision to make about our night sky color. We're using green as a highlight. So we could use like a orangish reddish color. Might make the mood pretty spooky. I'm thinking that would be cool. So what do you think? Sky color. Orangish reddish. Keep that spooky mood going, bouncing off, and then you pull here down into here. Maybe, I don't know. But either way, then the background areas, we're going to do... Where'd my pencil go? Right there. I'm going to do a tree line there. And that's going to be dark green into black. 5 years. Cool. Have you been enjoying it in that time? Like, do you find it relaxing, or are you still enjoying drawing? Greens put in. Yes, good man. That's awesome. Yeah, I'm glad to hear it. It's one of those things, I find it to be a very rewarding and relaxing experience that's just, I don't know. I like it. There's nothing quite like it. Nothing quite like creating your own little world on a piece of paper. It's very, I don't know, freeing is the right word, but it's just cool. I don't know. Here I go rambling again. It's just neat to be able to just like sit down and then at the end of it, you know, for however long you want to take, it's like you get something really cool out of it, you know. You've created your own little story or universe or what have you. It's just neat. Okay. So that's good. And then I'm going to use the same acid green to kind of put in here for the tops of the trees, as light would be hitting that. Doesn't need to be very much. Just a little tiny bit. Like so. I dig that like a garden. These are Copic markers. Let's see. I can't see what I'm doing. Yep, Copic sketch markers. They've got a chisel on one side, a brush on the other. They're refillable. You can buy refills for the inks. You can change out the nibs if you want, so lot of use out of these. Like it's a very versatile system. You can do a lot, and that's what I like about them. The ink works great. It blends nicely. So I would give them my recommendation. Okay, let me get some of this lead up. And now we can think about our sky. We're going to have the clouds there. That works. Like so. Like so. Okay, so I don't like that. I don't like this one either. We're gonna have these kind of long bars here. Yeah, they're pricey. I'll warn you. They run pricey, but if you can use a coupon or get them on sale, something like that, definitely worth it. Like I said, that's how I kind of started getting into doing work that was in color. I don't like that cloud right there. There we go. Just a little bit tilted, like our horizon line here. Okay, cool. That works. Okay, let's put in, well, we might want to do it. I think I have an idea. We're going to make a very dark sky. And then the clouds are going to have a reddish glow to them. Let's get these guys put in. And this color I'm using is actually a blue-violet. So it looks dark on camera, I know, but it's and it is, but it's got a lot of that blue color in it, which is cool. So this is called Slate, Blue Violet 29. Okay, so go around the hat, into the clouds down here, this plinth. Go around our nice bright green moon. Green moon. That's when you get 3 full moons in a month. Yeah, I don't like making my night skies black. I think that when you make something just pure black, it just it's less interesting than a color. Like, it's dark, yes, but it's got just a hint of color in it that I find very appealing. Okay. And around the other side here. Just this little area. Good. And then I like to go over it a second time, just real quick, so any streaky bits are removed. There we go. Okay. And then as far as the other clouds go, we're going to erase the pencil lines since we're going to be dealing with lighter colors. That looks suitably dark enough, so we'll get in some. We're going to use a lighter blue violet here around the base. And then we're going to blend that with like a pinkish color. I'm going to use pale yellowish pink. Sounds good to me. And if we don't like it, we can change it later. Just kind of blend that in. Add some of it there. A little bit here. Good. Tomorrow, no, I am unfortunately not. It is babysitting day tomorrow. So I unfortunately will be out for that. However, I will need to make it up next week since I won't be able to do my normal Thursday time. Since I have the Pulpfest show. So maybe Wednesday, maybe Tuesday, maybe both. I don't know. Haven't decided yet. Still something to think about. Okay. So let's get these clouds blended a little better. But thank you for asking. Do I know what Sunsplash is? I do not. Is it a kind of a beverage that tastes like the sun, like a Capri Sun? Is it something, a topical cream of some sort? I am unsure. Let's go with this peach color. Getting closer. The clouds need to be just a wee bit darker. Yeah, I'm unsure. I've not heard of that. Sunsplash. Let's go in with the cool gray number 3. Oh, water park. Cool. I have not heard of that. I don't know where is that even located at? Like what is it in the US? If so, what city is it near? And we're going to do the C2. And get up in here. Hey Nathan, how you doing? Good to see ya. I was going to email you tonight because I finished, or mostly finished up, the Mr. Marsh drawing earlier today, which is exciting. I'm happy with how it's been turning out. And thank you. I'm glad you like the colors. I'm a little unsure on these clouds back here, but, you know, that's how it goes. C5, C6. So I got to ask you guys too, how's the sound coming from the new microphone? Good, choppy? Could it use some work, etc.? And let's do for his gun blast a bright old splash of yellow. Yeah, I want to show it to Maria and just get her opinion, and then she'll tell me if things need to be adjusted on it or whatever before I send it to you, and then you can tell me if things need adjusted on it, and we'll be good to go. And new mic sounds great, thank you. And I should go to Sunsplash AMC. Where's it at, though? I have no idea, like, you know, where it is. And thank you. I'm glad you agree. Yeah, this is the first time I've even hooked it up yet, and it's I'm excited about it because I couldn't make videos because my mic had completely died on me recently, my old mic. So it served its purpose well. I just needed a new one. You don't know where it's at? I'm going to look it up then. Sunsplash Water Park. Looks like it's in Florida. So AMC, I unfortunately am not too close to that. So sorry. But who doesn't love a good water park, though? Anytime I think about a water park, I think about that scene in Bill and Ted when Napoleon's at the water park. Hilarious. I hear you on that, Nathan. It's one of those things where, like, I always like to hear the thoughts. Change this, do this. Nathan, you got it, man. Yep, you're right. That is the name. Oh, Napoleon. What a great film. Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. It was an excellent adventure for all parties involved. Okay, yellow green 07 goes away. All right, let's get into the inking portion of our program. Me, I am in the great state of Pennsylvania, AMC. The Keystone State. One of the original 13 colonies. And I live on the good side of it. It is a good time here in the old Pennsylvania. Okay. Right, I'm going to start, though, with... Let me get my water dish out. And a Kleenex to wash off the brush. But let me start out with the pens to get the face in nice. I'm going to start with these eyes. You're going to take a trip to Sunsplash? Or to Pennsylvania? If you come to Pennsylvania, you got to go to Primanti Brothers Sandwiches and get a Primanti sandwich. Got to ride the incline. It's a must. Let's make these eyelids just a little thicker. Men have lashes too, just not as long. Give that big old hook nose of his. I don't know. I worry that the nose is too big, but it is the shadow. He's got that huge honking schnoz. Oh, not to Sunsplash. Okay. All right. What color are the shadow's eyes? I don't think it matters. I think they're like just brown. I don't think he has a famous eye color. I'm going to go with, we'll do blue. Let's do blue eyes. He's got blue eyes. Hi, War Guy Films. How are you? Red eyes. Okay, we could do red eyes. All right, AMC, take care. Have a good day. Thank you for popping by and good chatting with you. If you're coming to Pennsylvania, remember, Primanti Brothers. All right, so let's do lipstick red for his eyeballs. And that gives quite a look. I dig it. All right, let's get into the pen part. Or, I'm sorry, the brush part. And I can already see there's a lot of these tricky angles. It's going to make my life just wonderful coming up. Let's do the brim of the hat, though. There we go. Some texture lines in there, good deal. In the outline of the fedora. yeah, so I've never done this Pulpfest convention coming up. I think it's going to be a fun time. I love old, I went last year as an attendee and really had a good time. So this year doing it as a vendor, I don't know how it'll go, but I can tell you it's going to be a dangerous show for me because I feel already the need to spend all of my money. I bought my first pulp magazine there last year, an issue of Weird Tales. And so this year, who knows? All I know is my wife is going to be P.O. to me. All right, let's start adding in the scarf bits. Thickening the eyebrows just a bit. There we go. Good deal. But yep, pulp magazines are cool as heck. And they have all kind of neat stuff there. But the Philip Jose Farmer guys got me hooked on the Riverworld series by, of course, Philip Jose Farmer. And I just bought and started reading the third book in that series. I got in the first two last year. Really cool stuff. And a good sci-fi, kind of. I guess it's sci-fi. It's one of those it could fall into like a dozen different genres. Sci-fi, heck, it could just be a drama, you know. But good stuff. And I think, and I need to talk to the promoter, I'm going to be at the same spot right by those guys. So it is going to be a dangerous show for me. But I'm looking forward to it. Definitely looking forward to it. And tomorrow, as I said, is babysitting day. So that'll be fun. But the art stuff is coming along. Fortunately, I won't be able to film any of it, but I'm looking to do more pulpy goodness. So if you guys have a pulp character or something like that you're thinking this would be cool, let me know. Because I'm going to be doing some Flash Gordon, Doc Savage, maybe some Buck Rogers stuff. Maybe the Phantom, you know, the purple-clad one. Stuff for Pulpfest. You know, maybe some Cthulhu stuff, like some deep cut, some real deep cut Cthulhu stuff. Would be fun. Tarzan, War Guy Films, thank you. That is a great, great suggestion. Tarzan would be perfect. Actually, virtually anything of Edgar Rice Burroughs, so John Carter of Mars and stuff like that. So that is a wonderful idea. Thank you. Much obliged. See, this is why I keep you guys around. Excellent, excellent. Okay. Yeah, Tarzan would be a great one. I know the theme of this Pulp Fest coming up is military pulps. but I'm not sure of any specific like military characters that would be good to do. I could always do something akin to just some honest to goodness military pictures. You know, some authentic tanks, weaponry, stuff like that. John Carter, right on, man. So, War Guy Films, then, I gotta ask, did you see the John Carter movie from a couple of years ago? And if so, what did you think? I actually liked it. In terms of a movie, it was good. In terms of being John Carter, it was okay. But just the movie itself was cool. But I'd love for them to do like an actual legit, honest to goodness John Carter movie. Maybe one where Dejah Thoris lays a giant egg at the end. Okay, cool. Let's get down into his gun area here, the blast. You were introduced to it from the movie. Cool. That's awesome. And I agree that it should be a TV series. That would be very cool. It's a perfect kind of story to be a TV show. Especially if like HBO did it or somewhere that, you know, they didn't have to shy away from the, let's say, more naked parts of the books. I think that would be pretty sweet. I think pretty much any of Edgar Rice Burroughs' stuff would do well in that kind of format. It's kind of like Tarzan. I don't know why that anytime anybody decides to do a Tarzan movie or TV show or anything regarding Tarzan, it's really like just dumb action constantly. Usually. And it's like, that's not entirely the case with the actual Tarzan books, so get it right, you dopes. Make a good Tarzan movie. The one with, what's his name? The guy from True Blood. That was pretty good, I thought. I liked it. It's got my seal of approval. Okay. Good old Lamont's hand. Yeah, one of these days I'm going to have to learn how to draw suits. And I need to go and buy a new brush. Let's see here. The Land of Time Forgot and People of Time Forgot movies. Yep. I have them on DVD. I'm a humongous fan of the Doug McClure Fights Big Rubber Dinosaurs genre of films. So yes, I have both of those. Love them. I also have like the one you can't get in the U.S. I have a bootleg copy of Warlords of Atlantis, which is pretty neat. And I am getting a phone call. My phone's probably going to ring here in 2 seconds. Okay. So yes, I do like those movies. Even though the Edgar Rice Burroughs-iness of them is a little suspect, it's still cool. They're still cool movies. And that one guy, I can't believe it, in The People That Time Forgot, he looks so much like Tor Johnson, and he's not. And every time I see him and realize it's not actually Tor Johnson, it like kills me a little inside. Because Tor would have been perfect for that role. A lot of grunting, not much speaking. Only they could have got old Tor. And yeah, the Tarzan one I think was The Legend of Tarzan. I dug it. I liked it. Right? Yep. I hear you on that. Anything with big rubber monsters in it. Now, another good version, I like the Willis O'Brien Land of Time Forgot movie from, what was that, 1925? Something like that. That's a fun one, too. And yeah, dinosaurs will never get old. You know, it's one of those things that, like, no matter how old you get, at least for me, I'll never stop loving, like, the look of, like, stop-motion dinosaurs that I liked when I was a kid. It'll never get old for it. If they put out a movie today called just, like, stop-motion dinosaurs or guys in rubber dinosaur suits, I'd go and I'd watch the crap out of it. I'd pay full price at the theater. You know, Hollywood's always like, oh, why aren't people going to see our movies? Well, if you had dudes in rubber dinosaur suits, maybe we'd be going to see them. I don't know, Hollywood. That's my 2 cents. Oh, The Lost World. Thank you, War Guy Films. The Lost World. You are absolutely correct. And I was definitely wrong on that, so thank you. But that's the one I mean. It's really good. So obviously you know it. Willis O'Brien's special effects are just wonderful. And again, something else I'd rather watch than like any kind of CGI type movie from now. And I'm not bashing on CGI here. It may seem like it, but I'm just saying, no matter how good the CGI effects, I think, and they could be very good. I'm always gonna like something like, you know, what Willis O'Brien was doing better. Yeah, I agree. Like a really, really good one. Because there's some independent movies that have that kind of aesthetic. which I do like, but there's just something not quite right about them for me. Being that they're low budget, the acting is not incredibly bad, but just nothing to write home about either. And then same with the stop motion. Like, that's a very specialized skill. And some of the low budget filmmakers don't have the money to hire the people that can do it real justice. And so I'd love to see somebody with a couple $1,000,000 to put behind a project like that. I think that would be so cool. Okay, and then the back end of his arm here. And the back end of the suit. Good deal. They don't even have to pretend with their movie. Call it just Rubber Suit Dinosaur. Yeah, that's it. Rubber Suit Dinosaur. Like, okay, cool. I don't know what it's about, but I'm going to see it. Actually, it would be nice if it had a story of some kind. Okay, let's get this 45 in. Dino Suit, the movie. The other thing that I'm not a huge fan of is that everybody takes their movies too seriously. Like, I'd love it if they made a movie about a group of people that goes to an island infested by dinosaurs or whatever, and it's not like a serious drama about, you know, whatever. Like, if it's just a fun movie, would be cool. I should make my own movie one of these days. Okay, got that 45 in. Let's get the bottom of the cape. Rubber Dinosaur, the game, the movie. And then if they base a game off of the movie version, the game, the movie, the game. That would be incredible. All right, good deal here. Let's get this stuff put in. Real quick, and then I have got to run to pick up my wife for a doctor's appointment. So, I might have to cut this one a little short today, you guys, but I'm going to try to rapidly finish up here with some of this stuff. Like so. And one last thing I got to ask you guys before I go. How was the quality of the video here? Were you guys getting any interruptions at all, or was it pretty stable? Because that was the thing that has been plaguing me for the past couple of weeks. The unstable video. ASTR. Some cracks in the stones here. Ugh. Hard angles to draw. Love it. Oh, video's working well. Okay, good. Thank you, guys. Thank you for letting me know. Because, like I said, the last couple weeks, it's been just really kind of brutal. Dropping constantly. And then I felt bad because people would try to watch it and they couldn't. And that sucks. You know, I would hate to. I want to be able to provide a good video for you guys. Okay, but thank you guys for letting me know. Thank you for the feedback. I greatly appreciate it because, you know, I don't know how it's looking to you guys, if that makes sense. Okay. Rapid turnaround. Come on, Colin. You can do it. Get this sucker done. And gotta put RIP on the tombstone, because you do. And same with this one back here. Give it a little, some texty bits. Okay, and then the last thing I'm going to do, Astro Brains the movie. Yes, sir. That's, Nathan, that's what I want to do. Astro Brains the movie. They came, they saw, they killed all the humans. If I can fundraise just $200 million, just $200 million, I think I could make that work. So if you guys have any pocket change you want to donate, you guys let me know. And Astro Brains the movie may be invading a theater near you very soon. Oh, gotta love the puns. Okay, last step here. Put in some white highlights. Get the brand new paint pen out, which hopefully won't dump paint everywhere. Yeah, so if you guys can donate like 22 cents or a couple of nickels, I think we'll get to that $20 or $200 million very soon. Yep, just, it's coming. All right, but here we go, guys. I'm going to have to close up shop for now. Go pick up the missus. But there he is, Lamont Cranston, the Shadow himself. I think this turned out really cool. This was a fun one to work on. So thank you guys for hanging out with me this afternoon. I greatly appreciate it. I had a wonderful time. And yeah, hopefully I'll be able to get some more live streams in next week at different times during the day. So keep coming, keep your eyes peeled, and I'll try to let you guys know on the social medias. If you're not hooked up with me on social media, you can look up Colin Richards Art on Facebook, or I think on Instagram too, it's Colin Richards Art. I'm 90% sure. Colin Richards, yep, artist. So, yeah, Colin Richards Art, there it is. So, take care, you guys. Let me sign this sucker up. And I'll see y'all on the next one. Ta-ta.